Alrighty, I didn't sleep terribly well last night. A lot of stuff rolling around in my head. Was the first, we had a bit of a coldish night. It felt cold outside, but the house seemed reasonably warm when I'd had the wood stove going. And somehow my bedroom stayed reasonably warm as well. That was about a week ago. But last night we got a properly cold night. By that I mean about 13.5 degrees Celsius. Something where it was actually worth running the wood heater all night long. And yeah, so I put a decent sized log on, and then I think it was after Black Kitty's first mouse, I put on another smaller box thorn one that was half rotten but still a decent size anyway, and that basically took me through the morning. But I couldn't sleep, lot rolling around in my mind, and she managed to bring in 2 mice, and about probably 2 hours apart. Not full-size mice, they're baby mice. I don't mean they're little pinkies or anything like that, but they weren't fully grown, and we've sort of worked a few things out now, because I start yelling, get that thing out of here, or get that effing thing out of here, or something along those lines. And I've only got to yell that out once or twice, and she realises I'm pissed off, and then she decides, well, if I eat it real quick, then he won't be pissed off. So I yell once or twice something about that effing mouse, and then she just eats it, pretty much straight away. So yeah, the mouse will come in and no more than 30 seconds of playing with it and it'll be eaten. So we managed 2 last night. Couldn't help herself, had to drop it in the laundry basket, and it fell out one of the holes inside the laundry basket. Then she's trying to pile through the laundry basket, trying to work out where it is, and it's sitting on the ground right beside the basket. But at least we've sort of moved past the stage of bringing them up on the bed, and moved past the stage of chase a live one around his bedroom for about 50 minutes. So it's better than it was. They're still coming in the bedroom, but it's a lot better than it was, and there's a bit of a, once I get yelling, then she gets eating. So that generally fixes it up, but I am bloody tired today, and I might go stake out this area where I want to do these posts down here. Geez, I got a lot on this week. But anyway, that's what it's all about. Keeping things rolling, and you get shit done. Alrighty, hopefully the wind doesn't catch on all this. I've just been whacking these in. I've basically got about 10 metres by 11 metres across, which works out about 32.5 foot by 35, 36. So yeah, this is a pretty good patch. Go much further down and we start getting all these dips. I don't know if you can really see it, but there's a ground sort of dips and bullshits down there. You get right down where those rocks are, a little plant there. That's beautiful soil, and the soil changes colour down there from what it is right here. Chocolate brown, orange. So, but all the rocks sort of start just here. Got more rocks there, got a shitload of rocks all around here, around this bush. And, outside of this lot, not many grass clumps. But you get outside, there's still not many there, but then there's just goes solid there. And I could probably take these 2 posts out another few metres that way, but then I'd be getting into a few of the grass clumps there. And I may very well decide that I'm going to go a bit further out that way. Just don't want to go a bit further down, because, like I say, all the ground starts to dip and you really get a lot of rocks. But I don't really feel like digging out a shitload of these. And as you can see here, they start, within a few metres of where I've put these posts. And I may very well drag this out just go another, 9 foot, 10 foot out here and pretty much run it to here. There's quite a possibility of that, actually. Won't say I will, but don't be surprised if I do it. Some of the tussocks that was taken out last year. Some of these were dumped back on the ground and they've bloody re-put their roots back in. This gives you a good idea of the soil anyway. It's a reasonably firmish sand, it's like 85% sand, 15% clay or something like that. Go up next to my house, it's so dense it's ridiculous, but this stuff's reasonably alright. It's not something you can easily stir around. You start kicking with your boot though, and you can build up a bit of loose stuff. But it's something that I'm probably going to have to work, but at the same token, it's dense enough that it's not ever going to turn into a blowout. The sand's not going to blow away. It's not going to sort of just have the water hit it and just go straight through, unlike what you'd have with wash sand. Some septic systems, they have sand filters, and of course the water will just go straight through it. But with this, it's got that bit of density, but it's not that hard that the roots won't go into it, and not that hard that you can't hit it with a fork and sort of break it up anyway. So anyway, here comes the wind. Here's another nice example here. When you look at that, you wouldn't think that it'd be hard to break it up with your foot, but it's just enough clay in it that there is. And all this, there's sand on this place, but all the sand on this place has clay in it, and at least 15%. There's nothing that's like a soft sand that you get your vehicle bogged in. None of it. It's about 5 different types of soil on this place, but the vast majority of it is the black volcanic soil that's around the house. And that would be some of the clay that's in this mixed with the sand sort of thing, most likely. But it's funny how only 100 yards behind me it just goes completely to orange. It's flaming unbelievable. We might actually go down and have a look at that. Well, here I am 100 yards down the hill, but it's not really any different colour. It is a bit lighter, definitely lighter, and I can actually see white grains of sand on the surface there. I swear, black and blue, there's some around here that was orange, because I thought it was that pile of rocks there. There used to be a rabbit hole, and where the rabbit had chucked all the dirt outside the hole, it was orange soil. So it may well be that it's orange, but sort of 2 foot down, or something like that, 3 foot down. But I've got a feeling that I'm just not far enough around the property. Like those trees you can see there, that's the property boundary, and yet I can walk a whole way. I'm sitting here waiting for some pasta to cook. Might have heard of Sudafed. Helps clear runny noses. Well, this is Sudaclear. This is a thing my uncle had here, with about a dozen packets that he never used. And I actually did use them at one point when my nose got a little bit blocked. Just a little bit of compacted sort of tissue paper that's almost like cardboard, full of the same drops that you would otherwise be trying to vaporize to help clear your nose. What this basically is it is a mains-powered heater, and there's a little bit of tile in there. You can see the beige through there, and you slide the little paper cardboardy tab in there, and then being on this hot tile, it lets all the vapours rise out the top, much the same way as one of those tea light candle thingies. You know what I'm talking about, where you got the little tea light candle and you got the little ceramic dish thing that you put the essential oils in and they waft off and scent the room. This is basically an electric heating version, and by law they have to put some sort of wattages on it, and there we are, 2.4 watts. It's not just these two. There's another kind that I had over at my parents' place that basically has a like a fly spray sort of thing inside compressed sand in a little cartridge, and this compressed sand cartridge will click into a thing with a similar sort of heating element. I've actually had this on some nights and just tucked it under the blankets with me, and it sort of warms up whatever area it's on, and you know, good for warming your hands up and stuff like that. It sort of does unequalise the warmth of your body to some degree, especially because my chest is usually warm and the lead's only probably long enough to sort of get to my chest. But having said that, if you're one of these people like me who gets cold feet, and I readjusted this cable, I could put it under my feet to keep my feet warm. Not a lot of heat. You have to really put it under blankets. But never mind personal heating for a minute. Let's think more on the basis of plants. Now, I'm thinking about these lemon-scented verbena that I've got that need to be kept warmer than it's going to be during winter here. Or if you've got a little pot plant that sits on a windowsill somewhere in the States or somewhere like where my sister lives, where they get below freezing temperatures on a regular basis. If you could somehow set up a little wire frame to sit the pot plant on and have this sitting directly underneath, the warmth is going to continue to rise, and it may stop the pot plant from freezing or going dormant because it's too cold for it or something like that. And I've actually seen pet beds for cats and that do have like an electric blanket built into them that's very low wattage. And you know, that might also be another thing. You might have something else that you know, a little bunny rabbit that you're worried about or whatever, and you could stick this out in its hutch. Fingers crossed it doesn't piss on it. But then again, you know, if you put this inside a drink can or something like that, it'd fix that problem. And yeah, you give the animal a little bit of warmth. It's not much warmth, and it is something where you can't have it in the open air, really speaking. It's got to be under blankets or, you know, in the nesting box or whatever. But everybody can afford to waste 2.4 watts, and if that's what it's going to take to keep your pot plant from going dormant, to keep your rabbit warm, pet rabbit, to keep your toes from getting too cold at night, well, there you go. That's a little straightforward improvisation. And sure as eggs, there's plenty of people that actually have these things that they've, you know, like me with this one, ran out of the cartridges, and they're otherwise just going to chuck it in the bin anyway, because they're sort of more or less disposable. And a lot of the time the cartridges for these are so ridiculously priced that you buy it once and then you say, yeah, I might just use the normal method or something like that. And, you know, at the end of the day, if you change your mind because the cartridges are too expensive, then you're left with something like this. So, sure as eggs, you'll likely get one of these blowing around that you know, your parents might have, or one of your siblings or whatever. And, yeah, just an interesting, cheap little thing that you might find laying around, or you might find in the bargain basement bin, because they realise they aren't selling as many as they expected to. And a few thoughts for a bit of use for a very low but still noticeable electric heating device. I'll be stuffed. I've been out here a million times. This little sheep track goes out to the IBCs and all that. Fig tree's just over there. This little bowl just sticking out of the ground, so I pulled the edge up and yeah, a little enamel bowl. What do you know? I just went to grab it then and lift it up. You can see she's still covered in shit. There's indentation mark in the ground from where it was. This axe has been sitting down here for years. As you can probably tell by the rust. Ooh. It's like there. Oh yeah, that's your normal lead wedge. That's a bit of silicone they've put in. Of course the handle's not looking... Holy smoke, that is just twanging in my hands. Yeah. Gonna need another handle, to put it lightly. I've actually got another handle there that's, yeah, got wet. I think it was left in the veranda for years. And had a bit of the veranda that didn't really have a roof left or something. But I do have a number of those wedges. I've got a few, or 2 old ones and 2 ones that are still brand new in the packet. It's obviously painted orange. That is a find. Occasionally I find an axe head, and I found a little tomahawk head a while ago, which I showed you guys, which I think I chucked out. I've never, you know, I've already got a good tomahawk. Well, I've already got, yeah, one good tomahawk, and my dad's got the other good tomahawk. He's got a fiberglass handle one. I've got a wooden handle one that's just perfect, like new, but never really get any real clog with tomahawk, so I usually just use axes, even for small stuff. Yeah, that's a flaming good find. On the subject of that, the handle on this bastard's slipping up and up and up, and yeah, of course you got a nail in there to stop it coming down, but it keeps slipping up a bit. Maybe it needs some wedges in it. Could be the key. Having said that, the handle in this isn't very good. There's some little borer or bug or some crap got into that piece there. And as you can see, she's sort of got crack lines through it. And yeah, it's seen better days with a handle anyway. It's good to have this mattock. My father's got a pretty straight edge on that. There's a little bit of a chink in the top there, but my father's one's actually missing like a big chunk out of part of it, so his one doesn't dig in as good as my one here. It's, that is a flippin' ripper find anyway. I'll definitely keep that. Get the cordless drill with the little circular wire brush thingy, whack it in there and just clean that rust off. Probably put the handle in the wood stove. Might as well show what I'm down here doing. Wind's blowing a bit, so I just had my finger over the mic here. Getting these bastards out. The ubiquitous serrated tussock. It always looks like it's half dead, but then if you look down there at the bottom, it's green. So, yeah. That's quite green there. Anyway, I've done bloody well. There's still, can't get that one. There's still a bunch up the top. In a particular spot. Trouble with these, if you leave them sitting with a lot of dirt on the roots and they sit down, the bloody things will just reseed themselves. So the tactic I've got here is, because I've got all these little clumps of grass, they're sort of, a lot of it's just dead grey crap. You can all just sort of pull away by hand. It's all pretty loose rubbish. And most of them will pull away even better than that. See, jack shit. What was there, that is there. It comes out very loosely. But anyway, it gives you a bit of a prop. And so when you're done with them, usually I knock the dirt off actually usually hit them with a mattock, and then just throw them on top like that. And then the roots are sort of in the air as a result, and then it'll dry out, and that's the end of it. Anyway, I've also been going around the box thorns where I burnt. They've got all these little sprouts coming out from some of the smaller roots that are only about a 1/4 inch thick. So I've been slamming into them. And there's also little sprouts around the base of the stump, but yeah, you keep swinging and all you're doing is just keep hitting the stump. But the ones that sort of, you might have a stump here, and there'll be roots that come out, and often they're only about a 1/4 inch, even less. Some of them are only like just little fine roots, and then you'll just see these little bits, green bits just on the ground, and you'll pluck them out, and they'll have like a white stem under the ground for about, 3/4 of an inch or more, and then little green shoots on the top, and there'll be possibly the 1/2 inch root connected, possibly it's only like real fine hair roots. So I've been sort of scraping the ground of those. I've done all of those, and I'm getting tussocks down here. That's where I just found the axe, just over there. I'm just getting tussocks down here that I didn't really think would be down here, but yeah, they are. And then I've got to go up the top and finish a few of those. I woke up, I got out of bed at about 5:05, couldn't sleep again. But anyway, it's allowed me to get on with a lot, and I'm going to easily have this done before bloody 2 o'clock in the afternoon, probably. There we go, fresh organic mealworm. Tend to be living in the roots of some of these. Yeah. Usually they taste like peanut butter. It tastes like shit. I didn't spit it back out there, I just getting the gooey stuff out of my teeth. Oh, yuck. It's got a bad aftertaste. Yeah, I've had 1 or 2 before, and they taste a lot better than that. And again, they are living in the base of a shitty-ass weed, so... These other ones, which sometimes end up coming up like this, just different ground cover things. There's one, I'm not getting anywhere here, there's one that's a known weed, and I see it a lot, but somebody in the driveway actually, they've got to get out, but this one's already dying. That's what I'm talking about. This one was above the ground, and that was under the ground. That's thicker than most, actually. And this is the sort of thing you get from what? Stalks and the little green sprouts, and that one's been eaten by sheep. A couple more. One's upside down. It's also been eaten by sheep. Yeah, of course there's your original stump, and then that's just sort of part of the roots. Basically from there down was underground, and all this has tried to come back. This reminds me of blooming mung bean sprouts. Anyway. One over there I've got to get. There's not many down here. Yeah, I've covered a lot of the bottom part of the property just walking around. Just come up through here and I'll be pretty much done. And then I've got to go right to the big thicket over there, and there's a couple up around the top of there. Just as you come off the top edge of the hill. Bunch of peppercorns there, and there's all the other trees there that are cypress pines that are out on their own. And your house is right over there somewhere. Alrighty, well I'll say that would be the last tomato. No, it's actually going to be ripe or just rotten. Just pulled it off this one. That's green there, it's, it's not going to go anywhere. That's done its job. I should just pull them out and reuse that potting mix because against all odds it seems as though we're going to have Siberian kale. I couldn't believe it. I stirred this round and looked through here the other day and couldn't find a bloody thing. Now I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus 1, 2, 3, 4 little ones. So, yeah. 9 with the leaves open and 4 I can see that are just starting to open. Actually make that 5. There we go. I didn't think that was going to happen. Anyway, hopefully it gets somewhere. I don't know if I can buy the Siberian kale in the shops or the Red Russian, but I can buy one of them. I used to be able to, and looking the other day, I couldn't see it there in the normal hardware chain I go to, but other hardware chains will have it, because they do definitely have it. I don't think there's any point in trying to let it go to seed. With tomatoes, they go to seed anyway, so. A lot of grass coming up, as you can probably see. Yeah, have to rip all that out. Might try and rehydrate some of this as well. But, yeah, I had the other Siberian kale in the sprouter. Wasn't going to happen. And yet somehow, this has happened, although I was certain it wasn't going to. And, yeah. There's my naked ladies. Looking pretty good. They didn't come out of the sky, but yeah, they're still looking good. These are the ones that had all the, what's his name? Spinach. Nothing. Spinach takes a while to emerge, but I don't think it's going to happen. Anyway, there you go, something to eat.